Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and TV shows and any other interesting topics. Now, before we get started, I guess I got to address we are no longer going to do TV shows on this podcast. It's very time consuming to watch like 1 hour, 13 seasons, and all that stuff. But we're just gonna do more movies and albums, and we're gonna try to do more movies too, because I think we have a lot of music reviews. Um, but yeah, so next podcast, updated intro, promise. But you can tweet us at Echo U Podcast on Twitter, and you can find us anywhere at Echo Underground Podcast. And I do mean anywhere. I think we're almost on every podcasting app you can find. So today's episode is going to be about the new album by Dashboard Confessional, Crooked Shadows. Now, they haven't had an album since 2009. So this is what, 9 years in the making. And I don't know if Michael, did you know this band before this album?
I knew nothing of this.
Okay, so for me, you ever heard Stolen? Or, no, you wouldn't know the other two. I really don't even think of Stolen because that was like the biggest thing. It was like in all the movies and everything.
If I hear it, it might ring a bell, but I don't know about just by the name. Can't say I do.
Yeah. There's also Bella the Boulevard that was out, and there's one more song that was really popular by them that I also knew. And I basically saw them from like TV shows and stuff. So it was good to like hear them again. It kind of reminded me of like when I was a kid watching like, One Tree Hill, OC, those type of shows. They would play that type of music.
Explains why I haven't heard it.
I mean, yeah, plus it was in like, teen movies and all that stuff. So they were around. They have a lot of records. But yeah, Michael's not into those type of shows.
Nope.
Also, today, Jessica Jones come out. So, watch that. We're not going to review it, but still, check out the season. I'm going to watch it anyway. Alright, so I'm going to give this album a B+. Here's why. What I love about the album. It was nostalgic for me in a weird way. Like, I loved all the vocals. I thought all the songs were really good. And, I feel like all the songs belong on the album together, if that makes sense. This album's only 9 songs, but I feel like all the songs should have been together. It felt like a complete album. Like, the song tracks were in the right order. It was well produced. I had no issues with the vocals. I liked how it opened, and I liked how it finished. And the only reason it's getting a B plus is because not all the songs really, worked for me. Like, blow me away type deal. So that's why I'm giving it a B+. But I thought this was a really good album, and I hope it's doing well. At least on the indie rock tracks or alternative rock charts. I hope it's really doing well, and that's my opinion on it. Michael, what do you think of this album?
Being that I never heard of them ever. Like, I don't know, I automatically assumed it was like a rock band kind of thing going into this.
Look at the name.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of figured, like, okay, these rock bands have like probably the coolest names for like their groups. So I'm like, okay, this has to be one. And I'm pretty sure that the name rang a bell, but like it just didn't like set off any flares. Like, oh, that's who they are. But yeah, I like the album. I'm gonna give this album a B-. I didn't I wasn't in love with it, but and it was short in a good way, like Shanique said, like it was quality over quantity. But I don't like to me. This album was weirdly in that gray area where it's not good, it's not bad, but it's also not passable. Like I know I'm jumping like way to the end of the podcast here. I'd actually recommend this music to someone. Like, hey, here's some. I'd call it new, so forgive me for calling it new. Here's some new music you might be interested in. Like it's the kind of thing you want to share because, like, it's being what kind of music I'm surrounded by. This is kind of a breath of fresh air. I'll give it that much as well too. And like the parts of this album that I did like, I found the catchiest in the best kind of ways. I do like the fact that it went from like rock to kind of like the indie rock to a lot more like guitar in your face kind of rock. I'm like, okay, cool. It's got a lot of like variation in just 9 songs. So I'm like, yeah, you know what, this is definitely a pretty cool album. No regrets about going through this.
All right, cool. So my number 3 is Heartbeat Here. Now, I was surprised this was my number 3 because it's a cheesy song. Not going to lie, it's a cheesy song, but for me in the best way. I love how the song sounds. I feel like I can easily just listen to it if I'm having a bad day. I would It would soothe me. It's a very sweet song. It's basically like be here with me, allow your heart to be here, and I really do like the theme of the song. I liked how the lead vocalist sound on the track. Now, mind you, I don't know the people. I'm gonna let people know ahead of time. When it comes to rock bands, I do not bother learning the lead singers' names. I've never been that type of person. People be knowing all their names. I'm like, nah, All American Rejects. I'm not gonna like
Right, we
know
know the
who it's.
group name, not the individual names.
Right, Fall Out Boy. The only reason I know Pete Wentz or Patrick Stump is because they were featured on other people's songs. I don't reach out to find a group name. I'm like, if you're a band, like an actual rock band, I'm gonna consider you by the name. I'm not gonna even bother attempting. But whoever the lead vocalist is in this band, he sounded really good on it. And I like the sweet sounding of it. Um, it just, to me, it's a very cool song. What do you think of Heartbeat Here? Unless it's in your top 3, then we can hold off on it.
I mean, it's not in my top 3, but I do like the fact that I think this was like the first one where like the pacing of the album kind of slowed down, but in a good way, because wasn't like rocking it like I thought it would be, and this is kind of my wake up call for that. And I was like, okay, I like the sound here, like the easiness of the guitar, like just making it like way more on the indie side of the spectrum than it is on the rock side, which clearly I was wrong about. But like like I said, this was the eye opener for that, and it went pretty well. The vocals went pretty well with it. They managed to keep up with the pace, not keep up with the pace, but like, make the pace look good with the kind of music that they were going for, the kind of sound that they were going for. And I was like, oh, okay, this ain't bad, and I kind of like it.
Okay. Um, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually something a little bit similar to Heartbeat here. It's Just What to Say, the last song on the album.
Oh, the closer.
Now, this song had probably the lowest key guitar in all of the album, because they're definitely focused on like the singing and the actual story behind the song, instead of like the instruments taking over. This is kind of like just they let the instrument do the background work. Like the background singers were the instruments pretty much, and they made it work. I think the synergy that they were going for was pretty good. And I think the lead singer, like Shanique said, handled it pretty well. And I don't know if there was someone else on this song. Was there?
Yeah.
I saw another name. Yeah, there was another name on this song. I'm pretty sure that's the other voice I also heard. And like I think that worked out pretty well in his favor.
Yeah. The feature on this track is Christy Costanza. I don't know who she is, but I thought her voice sounded really good. This is not in my top 3, but one thing I will say about the song, their voices complement each other. Like when they were actually singing together, I was like, wow, this sounds really good. She sounded amazing, and for the theme of the album, this was the perfect song to close it with. So, my number 2 is We Fight, which for me, it was the perfect song to open the album with. It had a very good build up to the chorus. Like it had this really big guitar, I guess. I don't want to say solo because there's music going with it, but it had this really good big guitar riff in there, and then the chorus will come in with the guitar and it sounded amazing. The lead singer sounded good. This would be a perfect single commercially, at least. It was catchy and I found myself singing it. And I just heard it for the first time. It was very easy to pick up on, and I love We Fight. What do you think of We Fight? Unless, top 2.
We Fight actually is my number 2 here. which makes me really think I know exactly what your number one is gonna be. But I'm gonna hold off on it. But yeah, We Fight was pretty good. It sounded like I don't know what the word is for this kind of song I'm looking for. But like back when rock and was kind of like in this weird heyday with the Panic at the Discos and the all the I forgot the other one now. God damn it! No, D'Angelo's gonna kill if I don't remember the other one.
We the
Fuck.
Kings?
No, fuck it. All right. Well, you know what? The sound you got a couple years ago, like say back when you're in middle school, early high school, from like rock bands. This is kind of sounded kind of remind me of. Like it kind of took me back a little bit into like a different era of rock. At least the rock that I got used to anyway, because I know for a fact D'Angelo was like playing rock nonstop for like a good couple years. That was like her phase, and this kind of reminded me of her phase right there, of like being a little on the the little rebellious side, and saying you're fighting for X, Y, and Z. And I think the song, I don't know, the song is put back in a time machine. I'll put that that.
Okay, and for all you people that don't know, he's referring to his sister.
Yeah, my sister. Right.
He was like, "Who the hell is that?" But yeah.
Mind your damn business.
Okay, guess my number one.
Belong.
No.
What is it?
About Us.
Really?
Yes, I love that song. I love the vocals. Now it's funny because About Us is very early 2000 rock. I love the chorus. The drums in this song is really good, and I like the part where they let their lead singer's voice really be the main draw of the song, and they like almost silence the instruments, so it was a little bit a cappella, but you can still hear the instruments, and you really heard his voice. And I thought it was probably, in my opinion, the most well put together song. After We Fight and About Us are like my top two. What do you think of About Us? If it's not your number one, sorry.
No, it's nothing. The song I was okay with. Like one thing I liked about the song was the transition between the heavier rock and like the more somber singing. And I was like, okay, this is catching best of both worlds in one song. Because usually they split that kind of thing into two songs. And I think that they found like a pretty good balance for it in About Us. So yeah, I thought About Us was alright. I wasn't like super impressed by it, but it was alright. I already told you my number one, so don't bother guessing it. But my number one is Belong.
Featuring Cash Cash. Who the fuck is Cash Cash? I don't know.
I saw it on the song title, and I was like, wow, what a name you went for your music career. But not to be shady, nothing like that. But I was just
that was the shadiest thing you said, though.
It was just so on the nose, though. I was like, wow, just Cash Cash, huh? You sure you're not a rapper? Okay. All right, moving forward. Now, this is another one of the slower rock song, the slower pace rock song. Not necessarily slow song, but a slower pace rock song on it. It was an interesting sound for me. It was pretty much just saying it's pretty much just talking about belonging together with someone, with him or her, whatever the case may be. And I was like, wow, this song really doesn't need like the heavy rock to get this point across right now. Like I know for other songs the same thing, like About Us and Just What to Say and another few songs on this album. But I was like, I feel like this one, in at least as far as like how well it resonated with me, this one did the best for me on this album.
Okay. Silence out, but give me 1 second. So Belong. Now, which I'm surprised by your number one. I think it's a very sweet song. Again, I love the beat. It has a very pop feel. It's very commercial to me, but I feel like it would work on a radio.
Mm-hmm.
But it also reminds me of like a song that I would hear in like a rom-com from like back in the day, or even today. You would hear a song like this today. But it's not a bad thing, and I like that. Also, I don't know who Cash Cash is, and I don't know what he did on the song.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. You're right.
Maybe he's a producer, or maybe he's one of those people who write the song, but you have to give them feature credit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. kind of like the situation with Uptown Funk. Like,
Right.
it's featuring Bruno Mars, but he's basically singing everything. But he probably didn't write it or produce it, so who knows? I don't know who Cash Cash is, but good job, I guess.
Right. Right.
All right, so the next song we're gonna talk about is "Catch You." This to me was a decent song. It didn't really blow me away, and it's another sweet song. It's oddly upbeat. It's easy listening, and I was low key singing along. It's very 90s. But for me, I felt like I wanted more from the song. Like when it was over, I was like, "Aw, that's it? We stopping here?" All right, that's basically how I felt about it. But I really did like the song, and it was a good transition from "We Fight." What do you think of "Catch You"?
Catchy was interesting to me because it sounded like those kind of bands that practice a song in their garage. It
Yeah,
kind of get it kind of sounded like that kind of vibe where it's like this guy like maybe early college or mid college or something like that. So basically, your young adult years, you just got like some boys together and like throw some riffs together for a song, and like this is kind of what the end result in my head sounds like. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's not a bad sound. It just gives me that that grassroots rock kind of sound pretty much. So yeah, it's decent sounding song right here.
yeah, I agree with you. "Catch You" was very good. It fit the theme of the album, and like what I will probably repeat again on this podcast is that this album is probably, at least in the year 2018, besides maybe Jeezy's, the most put together album. Like it sounds like everything flows. I didn't think like, why is this song at this spot? Like I didn't have any of those thoughts, and I thought it was well arranged. And then the next song is "Crooked Shadows," which is the title song. It's very, I put singable. Like for some reason, I just started singing the chorus, and I love the vocals. I love the guitar on the track, and it was catchy to me. What do you think of "Crooked Shadows"?
I thought this pretty much hit my standard for where like the title song should go. Like it didn't go above and beyond the necessary requirement for me to be passing for it, and it definitely wasn't a bad song because I agree this is a pretty good song. It's pretty catchy as well. I thought this one sounded commercial to me, but that's fine. I guess it might just be me who sees that. But like,
No, I agree. It could be. I just
no, no, yeah, I know you didn't even address it. I was just us making assumptions here. But yeah, I kind of feel like this might also be like their radio hit to remind people that apparently they're back since Michael did not know. So yeah, there's always that.
yeah. Michael didn't even know they were here. He was like, "Who the hell are
Yeah,
these white people?" um, but
not in so many words, but sure.
I'm sorry. Who in the hell is this band? Are they new? They've been around since I want to say 20. I want to say I'm about to say 20. 2003 or beforehand, around there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're very old. Um, like I said, if they were on One Tree Hill, they'd have to be old because that
Been there
show
for a
came
while.
out in
Yeah.
in 2003. So, um, next up is "Open My Eyes" featuring Lindsey Sterling. And if you don't know who Lindsey Sterling is, she is a violinist who is I think probably the most famous violinist right now. That's mainstream. I'm gonna put mainstream. Like you don't actually have to listen to violinists and know who she is. She was big on
Right.
YouTube and then got big elsewhere. So good job, Lindsay. So I guess one, it was too slow for me, but I did like the violin, so I thought Lindsay did what she was supposed to. I like the combination of her style and their voice and everything. I just thought the song was too slow. What do you think of "Open My Eyes"?
I was honestly thinking she'd have a bigger contribution for the song, which I wouldn't have minded. 'Cause, like her part was you know at least for me, I blinked and missed it. Cause I was like, oh wow, Lindsey Sterling is on this song. This is gonna be great. Compared to the slower paced songs, I kind of figured if she is gonna come in, she kind of needs to come in where the pace is slower. At least it's in my opinion. But I agree with Shanique on one point though. The song is probably the slowest on the album. The pace didn't annoy me, but it didn't like excuse me, I don't think it uses the pace to its fullest of its abilities. Because don't get me wrong, like two of my top three songs, like there was two two of the slower albums on the song, two of the
Wow,
slower
you.
songs on the album, two of the slower
Whoa, what's
songs.
happening? What's
I don't
happening?
know. The wires are getting crossed. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, they're two of the slower ones, and all of a sudden, like they work for me to the point where like I like those the most. This one, I just feel like did not, have that same balance between song, um, you know, pace, and use of their guests, I guess. Because I feel like Lindsay, I don't know, she can sell a song by herself with a freaking violin. So use that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think they used her to enhance their instrumental because she was all over the song. She just didn't get a solo part. But I
That
guess I guess if you're gonna have her play as part of your beat, you have to credit her on the song. Because I
mhm.
don't think they really wanted her as like a full on feature. They just wanted her skills to enhance their beat, which is fine. And I would do that too if I was her. I'd be like, "Oh, you want me to play on this song? Well, I want to feature." I would definitely be like, "Yo, how bad do you want me?"
Put my name on it, please. Thank you.
Yep, I do that. A lot of people, a lot of producers do that too. DJs, they're like, nah, man, put me, say featuring me, even
Right,
if I don't do anything. Well, she actually did something though. I heard her throughout the track, but good business, man. All right, and
right.
the final song we're gonna talk about is "Be Alright." It was upbeat, exciting. I thought it was a good change from "Open My Eyes." And it was to me it was very similar to About Us, so that's probably why I liked it. I feel like you would play this at their concert and people would be chanting the chorus basically. I really did enjoy this song, and to me it was a good change from the previous song. What do you think of "Be Alright"?
Be Alright was cool, but I will definitely say one thing though. I think the chorus was a big seller for me. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't really too big on the in betweens, between the choruses and whatnot. But like everything else, for the chorus, it was pretty good. And I do like the slight build up that it had here and there in the song. I was like, okay, all right, you know what? I don't dislike the whole thing, and I don't even dislike it at all, to be honest. I just think like small elements of it could have been like a little bit more exaggerated to make it a little bit better.
You mean bigger? Like more of an impact?
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Cause like really, if I want to come back to a song strictly for the chorus, then I'd feel kind of bad. Cause like that's the part that gets repeated. The verses in between everything else, they don't get repeated. They're the more unique part that, and I usually try to check out. But in this one, it's just like it kind of went by the wayside because the chorus was so damn good. Because like you said, like you go to a concert, they'd probably be like chanting the chorus part, but you know I think everything in between is like a waiting period where like, all right, let's get back to the fun part, one that I know of.
I mean, but it's crazy. It's like I feel like even when people know the verses, they're here for the chorus at the same time. Like
I'm,
a lot of songs, not all. I agree. Some songs you be singing like old school Usher, Confessions. I know the verses and I will be singing that shit. But the chorus is still my favorite part of the song. And
right.
this song, the chorus was better. So I will agree with you there. But
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm not really like like I said, the song didn't like wasn't completely off-putting for me. It's just like one of those songs that fall into that category. Cause I have plenty of songs that I do like. It's just for this one, I kind of wanted more out of it, which is technically a good thing, but there's just like slight feeling of incompleteness when you want to come back to a song like this just for the chorus. I want to come back for the whole pie, so that's just where I'm at, anyways. Maybe it's just me being picky. Who knows?
yes, Michael is being picky. No, I'm
Mm.
playing. Ignore any background noise you might have heard.
Who's
So
knocking your door? I know it's your phone.
yeah, it is my phone. I like my knock. So anyway, I guess to close it off, hmm, would I say, you know what? If you're a fan of Dashboard Confessional, buy their album. If you've never heard of them, I say listen to it first and see if you like love enough to buy it. because I'm the type of person that if I really if I listen to it first and I really enjoy it, I'll buy it anyway. And Michael will tell you that I would buy it no matter what. I do recommend this is an album worth listening to. I think, if you're a fan of alternative, you will find something to like in this album. And I say, Dashboard Confessional fans, support your artist, buy the record. I still think it's a good album, and it's a good comeback album for their style of music. What about you, Michael? Would buy it or stream it?
It's like I said in the beginning of the podcast. I'd still want to share this music with someone. Like,
Yeah.
because me being on the outside looking in, I'm like, okay, this is a good sound here, something that people probably aren't paying attention to on their radar. So it probably be worth opening someone else's eyes up to this kind of sound. And maybe if like they don't wait another like 400 years to bring out some more music, like Shanique told me, then maybe they can add on to, not even add on to, but like enhance their sound even more, make it evolve into something else, and you know go full on mainstream with the world. I don't know.
Okay. I agree with you. Definitely, I think this is an artist for people to check out. So I guess it's time to give. Do you want to send us home? Do you actually know our social medias, or do you want me to still do it?
Shanique got us under control.
Yo, the foolishness. All right, guys. Make sure you share, like, comment on our podcast. Get the word out, and you can tweet us suggestions at Echo U Podcast on Twitter. You can find us on any social media site and any apps at Echo Underground Podcast, where you can also comment and share our podcast. And also send us emails, echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com, for any suggestions that you may have. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.